How's it going, Rams? I am Ethan Bird, and welcome to another Bird's Eye View interview. Today's a little different. We don't have another journalist with me, but I wanted to shed some light on the esports scene here at CSU. So I'm joined by the competitive vice president and casual president of CSU Esports, Kyle Beckman. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I've got you here. We can talk. We can. Esports aren't talked about nearly as much. Something that I really enjoy. Something I would like to shed some light on. So why don't you just talk to me and everybody at home about what is CSU Esports all about? Kind of the journey you guys have taken to get to where you are right now.
So it started back somewhere around the 4-year ago mark when one of our previous players, he wanted to create an esports club here. Mm-hmm. So after a while, it was a slice-only club, so it was a casual club from the get-go. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until 2 years ago when the clubs decided they wanted to split into two clubs, and we had the opportunity to become a sports club through the rec center here. So we now have two clubs, the casual gaming at CSU and the competitive esports at CSU. Casual gaming at CSU is just casual games if you want to come and hang out. We have a Discord server for that. Discord.gg/CSU is our link. And our competitive teams are run through that server, so if you ever gain the interest to get on a team, just join the server, add the role to yourself in Discord, and then you can see the access. You have access to those channels. But we have 6 teams. We have our CS:GO, Valorant, League of Legends, Rocket League, Hearthstone, and Overwatch teams. So, and then we're working on our Call of Duty teams, and we're gaining interest for a Rainbow Six team as well. So if any of those games pique your interest, that is where you can find us.
Awesome. It sounds like you guys are growing pretty quick. Was it 2 weeks ago? You had a Mountain West match against Wyoming.
Yes.
And yourself and your president Caleb, I'm sure were very pivotal in helping to make that happen. Kind of talk to me about what really goes into setting up, an esports tournament with another college.
So normally the process is we will message the president or whoever's in charge of the other esports program at that school, and we'll talk to them. We'll be like, hey, do you guys want to do some show matches? And we'll get in a call with everybody. We'll kind of hash it out. Like for this one that we just had, we talked about it probably somewhere mid-June is when we had the idea. We all hopped in a call together and we're like, hey, we want to make this happen. We sort of like got an area of like weekends that we thought it would work well. And then as we got closer, we kind of locked in the dates, and we're like, okay, we need to have our competitive teams ready by this time. Rosters are locked, and have the dates and the time set up. Once we had that set up, we would figure out who does all the streaming stuff and how we're going to run that, figure out who our camera operators are, and transfer over the stream to other people. Yeah. And this time we were fortunate to have the Mountain West let us use their Twitch channel, so we were able to stream it through that. So we had our 2 presidents of each club. So we had Razzle Dazzle from Wyoming, and then we had Caleb from our club. They both streamed one day, and they'd spectate the games as they would go. And from there, we had the game set into their times, and all the players showed up at the right times, and we played it out.
That's awesome. That's 3 months of work to play a weekend of. You had 6 games going?
Yes,
we
had
six
6
teams going.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a lot more work than people expect to set up, a video game tournament, but I'm sure it was that was very rewarding. I mean, you guys were, you only formed, less than a year ago, last spring. And to be able to get to this point, what does that mean, not only for you, but your whole club?
It means a lot for us because we have we're all very independent with our games and stuff, but we can all come together very easily and work on something big for the whole club, which is very nice to do.
And to create a community, from what I've gathered from you and what I've seen, on Twitter, and you guys have a whole Discord server of what you said, 900 members?
Yes, 900 plus.
That's huge. That's huge. That's a great community. What does this community mean to you?
To me, it means a lot. When I came to CSU, I met one friend in marching band, and he was like, oh, hey, I saw you playing Overwatch, so why don't you come play with us? And now this club has eaten up my entire free time, and at any given point during the day when I'm not doing something, I will probably be in one of the voice chats, just kind of hanging out, talking with people. and it's nice to have, especially now during the COVID stuff. It's very nice to have people to talk to at any given point during the day.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. Let's dive into that. You know, with the pandemic, CSU Esports is really the only competitive scene out of CSU right now. You know, what's it like being, you know, just representing your university and being able to compete for your university?
It's a lot, but it's very fun because we know we have a lot to offer, especially with the future of esports as it's been growing in the past, and it'll just get bigger from here. It's like this is our time to kind of like the spotlight's kind of on us, and we have everything ready to go. We're like, this is what we are. So it's been very nice to have everything online before, because with all the rec requirements and stuff, we always have the analogy of like those like little pegs where you have like the circle peg goes into the circle hole. We have the little star-shaped peg that goes into the square hole that we can't get really to fit, so we just kind of make it work. But since everything's online now, it's been very just easy for us to just keep things going, and nothing's really changed, except we have not been able to have in-person events, which we have very few of in the first place.
Okay, so going forward, once, you know, who knows when all of this, when the pandemic ends, how excited are you to just be able to, you know, game with people that you've been talking to online for so long, get to meet them and stuff like that?
It's always very nice to go to our LAN events because it's where I met all of my closest friends and my current roommates. So it's always nice to kind of see the face behind the voice, because when you're in the voice chat, all you see is their little profile picture. So like, doesn't really tell you a whole lot, and you just hear their voice, and then when you see them in person, you're like, oh, I know you. So it's you already have that good friendship with them, and then it just grows from there.
Yeah. So I think it's really important to, you know, shed a spotlight on how you have your competitive scene, but you also have your casual scene. You know, for somebody who might be nervous about getting into esports and is just looking for a community to play video games with other people, how would they be able to get involved with y'all?
So if you join our Discord server, discord.gg/CSU, you'll be able to join the server. You'll see instantly all of the casual text chats, but there are a lot of games that are locked behind roles. So for instance, the game I'm most familiar with, Overwatch, if you go into our role set channel and there's a little reaction button, you click on the Overwatch symbol, you'll gain access to the Overwatch voice chats. In there, we have a lot of conversation going on, usually at any given point during the day. Once a week on Thursday nights at 8 o'clock, we have in-houses, which is where we all hop in a custom game together, and then 2 captains are picked, and they pick their teams, and we all play against each other. We just had that last night, and it's always very fun to go to that. But a lot of other games, they always have people hanging out in the general chats, and they're all very friendly, and we all like to play together. So there's a lot of cross gameplay as well. Rocket League just went free to play, so I've been talking with a lot of the Rocket League the Rocket League dudes recently. So it's been a lot of fun to do that. But there's a lot of just people who just play the game casually during the day, and then some of the teams will be like, all right, well, I got to go to practice. They'll be gone for like 2 hours, and then they'll instantly come back into the voice chat.
Yeah, that's super. I mean, it's just special, especially right now. Especially if you're a freshman at CSU, you know, in times like this, you know, a lot of freshmen, they've got all online classes. They don't have, you know, a place to go out. Do you have any freshmen that have found a community with you guys?
Yes. Our main tank player for Overwatch, his name's Morgan. He is a freshman this year, and he met us over the summer, in fact, after joining the Discord server, and we were actually able to put him on a team the minute he joined, and he's been playing with us this entire time, and it's been just an absolute blast to have him, because being in the dorms right now, from what I've heard from him, it's not the best experience, but...
Not the most ideal.
Yep. Yesterday we sat and we played Sea of Thieves for 7 hours together, so I know we were having a good time for that, but... So, it's always fun to kind of get away from things, you know, work on your homework, and then be like, all right, I'm going to go game for like the rest of the day, hang out with people, and just even... A lot of people don't even play games, they just kind of hang out in the voice chats as well, just to talk.
Yeah. So it's so much more than just, you know, people look at an esports club and they're like, oh, they're just playing video games, whatever. But it's so much deeper than that. You know, it's a community where, I mean, you're not just playing video games. You're making friends and you're creating connections that may have not been there before, right?
Yes.
And I think that's really special. to have a community. But I want to kind of dive into the competitive scene a little bit. You're the captain of the Overwatch team, yeah?
Yes, I am.
And so help me understand and help everybody understand, like, what goes into being, the captain and the coordinator of a competitive esports team.
So with all of our teams, we have leagues that we'll play with. So for Overwatch specifically, we have our TESPA league, and during that we will play games through TESPA, and they'll assign us a match, usually once a week, and they've just recently changed it to be a tournament-style elimination bracket.
Mm-hmm.
So every Sunday we'll play our games, and if we lose, we're out of the tournament for then, and then they'll start up another tournament. And we always play in other tournaments outside of that too. So over the summer we played in a tournament. Our gold team for Overwatch is just about to start one of those, the exact same tournament at their rank, and a lot of our other teams as well, they do other competitive programs. There's Collegiate Star League, or CSL. That's one of the big ones. But a lot of our teams play other games. Our Rocket League is knee-deep in their competitive season right now. And eventually, once a year, we do our Mountain West tournament.
Yeah.
And that is a, I forget what it's called, but it's where all the teams will play each other once, and then the two best teams will play each other once again, and then the winner will, last year, they would go to Vegas, fly them out to the Esports Center there, and they'd play in person. And our league team actually got to go to Vegas last year, and it was such a great experience for them to go out there and play in person, have their coach walk behind them, and they were all sitting behind their desks, and it was all broadcasted live on the Mountain West Twitch, and it was a lot of fun for them.
That's awesome. And then where can, if anybody's interested in watching y'all play, whether it's Rocket League, Overwatch League, Valorant, whatever somebody's interested in, where do you guys stream?
We do stream our matches regularly, and we're working on building our stream teams right now, so once we get those up, we'll be streaming as much as possible. Our Twitch is twitch.tv/esportscsu, so if you want to come watch us, you can do that, and then you can get notified when we do go live. We also have our Twitter at, I believe it's at esportscsu as well, and there we will post updates on whatever tournaments we're playing in, because usually sometimes we'll have our, like currently we have some of our players stream the games, and we'll usually link their Twitches there, so if you want to watch it, you can watch that. And we also post updates regarding match scores and just fun clips, so it's always fun to go there.
That's awesome. Is there any word on what the Mountain West Esports tournament is looking like right now? I'm sure there's a lot going on and a lot to figure out. But is there any idea of when that will be?
Usually it takes place during our spring semester, although there was discussion about having League and Overwatch play in the fall semester. Currently, I believe League is doing their tournament right now, and then once they're concluded with that, they will start up the Overwatch one, and then Mountain West is slowly working on integrating more games into that. Those were just the two big ones that they wanted to start out with. I believe they've added Rocket League, if I'm not mistaken, though.
That's awesome. And just go over to your Twitter for any updates on all of that.
Yes.
So I just want to ask you, personally, what does this, this team, this community mean to you?
Personally, it means a lot. When I came to CSU, I kind of was floating around some different friend groups, but once I joined the Overwatch team and the esports community as a whole, I made a lot of friends, and now that I've been in a lot of positions, I've met a lot of new people, and a lot of my closest friends now, they all play different games, and we all kind of work together on stuff for the club. But I have two roommates, and they both are on the same team that I am on, so it is a great way to make friends, and the community of it just means a lot to me. It's helped me through a lot of times as well, because they're all my friends, and if I need help, I can just ask them.
And if there's somebody who's, looking for a community like that, what would be your advice to them?
I'd say if you're looking for the community, join the Discord server. We have plenty of games, and we do regular bi-weekly updates. So it adds new chats, for games that, for instance, when Among Us became really popular recently, we added a text chat and a voice chat for that, so people can play Among Us, and I believe they play that game every night. And we just added a watch party channel for when people want to watch TV together. So we have a bunch of chats just to hang out, and there's a lot of games. We have Ark, Minecraft, we have Sea of Thieves, we have Hearthstone, we have Overwatch. We just have a bunch of games that people can play. You
got all your bases covered.
Yes.
And it's important to create that community. Now, When is the next? When is the next Mountain West match, if there is one being planned?
Currently, I do not know, just because I don't believe they are streaming the league games. But if there are streaming anything, they'll be on our Twitter, so you can check there if they do go live. But there has not been a whole lot of talk in that server from the Mountain West that they've been having a whole lot planned.
Okay. Now, before we wrap up, is there anything that you would like people to know just about CSU Esports, esports in general, just anything like that?
Well, the best way to join our Discord is our link with discord.gg/CSU.
Yeah.
If you want to join, we're always welcome to having more members. The bigger we are, the more fun it'll be. We always add more games, so if you're interested in playing any games, we have a suggestions box chat where you can put your game idea if you want to chat for that. There's a bunch of other voice chats and activities that go on during the club. And once the pandemic has concluded and we can have in-person events again, we'll have our LAN events again, which is where we rent out a space and we all will bring our PCs in there and we'll all play in the same room together. It's a lot of fun. It gets really loud. It's just a bunch of friends hanging out in the room together playing games next to each other, which is a lot of fun. So, yeah.
I think this has been important because, there's kind of, it's this stigma, it's esports. It's just video games,
Yeah.
what people say. But it's so much deeper than that, right?
Yes.
And, you've created this beautiful and, from what I can tell, welcoming and really fun community where, people can be themselves. And it's easy. It sounds like it's really easy to find friends.
Oh, yes, it is.
Awesome. Thank you for joining me, Kyle. This has been a great conversation. I had a lot of fun. We'll keep you up. We'll keep us updated on everything that's going on. We'll try to support you, and you're doing a great job.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in, Rams. We'll see you next week.